Welcome back to the Unwarranted podcast and show. Podcast part is coming. We got a couple fun topics we're going to get into today. And then we're going to take a deep dive into The Superior Man, one of our favorite books. I actually can't wait to get into that. It'll be a part one and part two to that. There'll also be a part two prior to that Game of Life book. Most definitely the Compound Effect to take some deeper dives into those books down the line. But today, The Superior Man. But to start off with our first question, we're going to start off a social media post that I saw. The guy suggested that marriage licenses should renew every 4 years so you can decide if you want to renew. How wild does that sound?
That's crazy, man. I mean, personally, I don't get into all of that. I think to each his own. If it's something that you feel is needed in your life, you know what I'm saying? Power to you. Personally, that's great. It shows you where life is going.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
wild. Where life is going.
That's wild.
How'd you feel about it?
It's wild. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I could look from both ends, obviously.
Right.
But in reality, is that not already how it is?
True.
With how easy it is to just get a divorce. You can have a no-fault divorce, and as in it's nobody's fault. We just amicably grew apart. That's what they'll say. But
for whoever it benefits,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Whoever it benefits financially. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I don't like that. I wouldn't.
But hey, you know what though? The opposite end of that spectrum is like some people are putting 10 years into a marriage just to cash out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, if it's like, 4 years with some special clauses in there that, allows you to kind of, better maneuver.
Yeah. Well, if you have to renew, that would mean that it expires. So we're no longer married.
Right.
No divorce, no, you know what I'm saying? It just ended.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think women want that.
I doubt they do, man.
I don't think women would. I told
you, I think, one of the biggest people to look at and to look to for information on that subject in terms of paperwork and all of that, the legalities behind marriage is Patrick Bet-David. Did a great video a while back saying why he got a prenup. You know what I'm saying? This is a very successful man. He's still married to his woman today. But he talked about, just how uncomfortable that whole topic was to even bring up. But how beneficial it was for him and his mental health to proceed and why he, recommends it to all men. So,
yeah.
Man, I don't know. This world's getting kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's a wild one. I wouldn't go with it. But to each his own. Now, another post I saw, this one was very hilarious to me, but also enlightening that, people could listen to. But man celebrating his 103rd birthday says he lived so long by minding his own business.
Wow. Hey, we were just talking about this though a few months ago about growing up, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
When you learn to mind your own business, it's a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more to the testament of minding your own business than the goofs and kind of him saying it at 103 years old. I think, I think that's crazy.
It's very crazy. I mean, when I read that, I was like, hey, he's right. The more you mind your business, mind the business that minds you.
Yeah.
As they would say. But I think he's on the right idea with that one. I mean, listen to your elders. He's 103 years old.
Yeah.
I would take that. Take that seriously. That's a experienced person right there. I mean, that's a long time to be around.
Right.
What it was, heck, you go back, 24, 20, yeah, so, yeah, he's been around for some things,
Man,
he might have saw the Lions win a playoff game.
Hey, man, Prohibition, World War II.
You know what I'm saying? And you talking about, what we won, 70 years ago? Your buddy was 30.
Yeah.
He's in his prime watching the Lions. I thought we were going to sky.
Way before it was a Super Bowl, we won
Man.
the championship, I think is what they called it.
That's hilarious, I gotta say.
That's powerful though.
Yeah, no, for real. But thirdly, do you think men are important in households today?
I can't wait for us to get into the way of superior, man.
Yep, that's why
I can't wait for us to get into the way of superior, man. If we ask that question one more time.
Do you think men are important in today's households?
I wanted to make sure I heard it correctly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I think we have a video on this. You actually talking about the impact of a man inside the home and the role it plays on children growing up.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, you can obviously go back into our catalog and watch that. But absolutely, absolutely. I think that the lack of men in households today is a direct correlation as to why the world is operating the way it is, at least in Western society.
Yeah. No, I think you're 1,000% right. I mean, just to touch it briefly, because we're going to talk probably in depth on stuff like that within this book. But yeah, it's important and it's overlooked, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like in today's society, like men are kind of overlooked, honestly, and like their importance. You know, like I feel like look at a restaurant, right? I can correlate stuff to that because I worked in so many restaurants, but the sous chef, the head chef, those are real important people. That dishwasher is just as important, okay? Yeah. You take away a dishwasher, all of a sudden ain't no plates for no food to go on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, servers can't serve these tables.
Yeah.
Like, it affects everything. Yeah. Just as much as this guy make a good menu, he's putting out good product.
Yeah.
So from the bottom pole to the top, everything's important, and everything really is equally important. Yeah. And that's not, everything in life ain't equal. But when you're running a system, so when you look at men and women, and that's like running a system, we each have our different things that are equally as important. The way I, make money is just as important as the way she makes a house a home. And there ain't no house without a provider. There ain't no home without a wife. So it's really, regardless of how you choose to look at it, it's huge and it's overlooked.
Yeah, man. I think roles have been being switched since the 50s, 60s, and 70s in terms of the way men and women behave. But ultimately, I think that it's important for a man to understand, before you go into the woman part, it is important that a man understands that it's okay for him to serve the children and serve the house. But it's just important for him to not do it for so long. Because if he is denying himself his purpose and his mission, then he's doing a disservice to his home and his children. And I think, I just want to make that clear as far as the men part goes. I don't think that women put enough emphasis on making sure the man feels like a man for doing his man responsibility. But that's only because the roles have switched. So now that you have women making just as much as certain men do, it's like sort of like this weird mental balance of like, hey, who's really in charge here? You know what I'm saying? Instead of, hey, what role do I play in making sure this all blossoms? You know what I'm saying? That's why I really can't wait for us to touch you as superior.
Yeah, nah, you kind of getting into it there.
I couldn't.
I will say this, man, from experience, like a couple Sundays ago, I was talking to my little sister and my little cousin, and they're both young, around like 13, and my sister actually just turned 13 yesterday. Shout out to Naomi. I wrote her card. It's very bittersweet. I got her name tattooed. It's very bittersweet. She's growing up, man. It's like a teenager. It's crazy. But I was talking to the both of them, and I told them, like, you'll see a lot of things say, like, a Proverbs 31 woman. And I told her, read Proverbs 31 and look at what that kind of woman is, right?
Yeah.
And I said, and then read the rest of Proverbs. And that's the man you have to get.
Yeah.
That's the man you should see before you, right?
Yeah.
That's the man, that's the type, those are qualities of the man you should be praying about.
Yeah.
You know, stop leaving all the judgment to yourself.
Wow.
Okay, let's say you're praying for a husband,
Yeah.
right? You're praying for qualities. Are those the qualities God set out?
Yeah.
Or are you praying for what you think you want,
Wow.
right? And especially as a woman, it's like, you know, we'll get to the book. Hey, that could be a feeling today, and it could be a different feeling tomorrow. So don't leave it to your judgment.
Yeah.
Leave it to God's judgment.
Yeah.
You know.
But
But
that's crucial though. It takes someone to be deep rooted in your presence.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? To even know that.
I think our generation is very spiritual, though. I'm not saying everybody's embracing God as they should, but I feel it growing. I do. I see it and I feel it growing. But I also feel like people embrace their spirituality more, that's one step closer. You know what I'm saying? That's one step closer.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I want you to accept God,
Right.
but what's one step closer? First, accepting that, okay, there is a way that the world works that's outside of my reign. There is a way that things just go. You know, you might hear them say, oh, it was the universe's will, God's will. But, hey, you want to call it the universe? That's one step closer. You know what I'm saying? Because really, you're just subbing out one word for another.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that, you know, you subbing out universe for God again.
Right.
You know, but,
Yeah.
you know, you don't want to just be in complete denial, though.
Right.
You know, at least if they spiritually pray. I don't know what they're praying to, but they pray.
True.
You know.
True.
So, and honestly, Game of Life, Forrest Ocean speaks very spiritually. She's not always saying God, you know, which is, you know, she might have did that for people to read it better, you know, because if we're closer to it, we're in a better spot.
Absolutely.
You know,
The message is all the same.
literally.
Yeah.
But lastly, before we get into the book, why do some men leave their women after reaching success?
Well, that's touchy.
Yeah.
That's touchy. It all really depends on the man. It also depends on the woman.
Yeah.
You know, that's touchy. It really depends on the man.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we all seen Wolf of Wall Street. You know, you remember the scene. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those, you know.
But you still got Steph in like you should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I think it's really just, I think it's a huge, it's just about what the man wants. You know what I'm saying?
Did you grow with him? He grew.
Absolutely.
You reached a new level.
Absolutely.
Did you reach a new level?
Yeah.
Because you didn't have to reach a new financial level.
Facts.
You know?
Especially not for the women. And I think that's something that's, you know, yeah, man, that's touchy. It's so touchy.
Yeah.
There's no real right answer to it. You know, obviously there's a bunch of different scenarios that go into it, and like, oh, is it this or is it that? Is it this or is it that? You know, but ultimately, man, it really just depends on that man. You know what I'm saying? There's no telling it behind closed doors while he was grinding, trying to achieve that success. What words was she speaking? You know what I'm saying? Did you have a woman that was speaking life into you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I doubt that woman is, you know, the one that's, you know, not with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or were you, you know, kind of there but not there?
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, yeah, I believe in you, sort of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a huge factor. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like, I know when a man is deep in his purpose, when he's on his mission, there ain't no stray left and right. You know what I'm saying? So if his woman is a little shaky in the back of his mind, he might be saying, for now, I'm going to use this energy to get to the level I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
But the second I'm there, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But usually, too, though, you know, you also won't see those women kind of done. You know what I'm saying? Usually they'll still be, you know, they'll be hit off with some sort of, you know, profitable gain. You know what I'm saying?
It's right. Individual situations, like the Tyler Perry movie. You know, because he didn't hit the success yet, but she left him.
Yeah.
And then he hit the success and gave the new woman everything he had promised his first wife.
Right.
You know,
But you also see how much she had put him through in that 15 years span.
But you also see how much life she's spoken to him in that 15-year span.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, what the books say, women don't lie, they just tell you how they feel.
True.
So it's like, you know,
and
let's say
he didn't leave her. He didn't leave her. She
left him. She left him. And I mean, that's another part in the women's community. Once we have a woman guest, she can really speak on that. But like, what the mouth of the friends play, because that was her sister getting in her head that made her leave him.
Yeah. Right
before the blessing of the 11th hour. I mean, that's third episode. That's been brought up.
Really, and
that's real.
On YouTube, you can go to and check it out. But yeah, from our channel, Unwarranted. But yeah, also too, I think there's a great quote that kind of taps into both men and women when it says, "Would you rather be at peace with the world, or would you rather be at peace with yourself and at war with the world, or at peace with the world and at war with yourself?"